What's up everybody? This is Felix, and in this tutorial we're going to talk about something that is fundamental to hardware processing, and that is state machines. Essentially, a state machine is a collection of different states that your circuit can be in, where it has different attributes and each state represents something. So in this diagram I have four states. The first one is just waiting. It's kind of waiting around for an input, a user input, a sensor input maybe. And when it gets it, then it transitions to state 01, where it turns on an LED. And then if it receives further input, it transitions into state 10 and turns on LED 2. And then if it receives the right input from state 2, then it transitions to state 11, LED 3, and if it gets it again, it goes back to 00 waiting. And these can be anywhere from as simple as this to super complicated, taking up a lot of space, and you might have different inputs that loop back to the same state, or you might have this state go back over here and then it comes down here and then it goes back to itself and then back to here, depending on the inputs that you receive and the state that's on. But what we see in general is a way to track what has been previously done, roughly, where we currently are, and where we can end up going. So when we build a state machine, it ends up looking something like this. And this is something that we're all very familiar with, where you just have inputs, some kind of logic, and outputs. And we know how to do that. The new part with a state machine is adding some memory to keep track of where we left off. So how this works is you've got some inputs. You start on, say, state 0, and that's in your memory. So you have your inputs, and you've got your 0 state here. Logic gives you an output, and it sets the next state, saves it, and now it feeds back in as an input. So next time you have your clock tick or your input gets pressed or whatever, it's now not on state 0, but it's on state 1. And now your outputs can change based on the knowledge that it's on state 1 instead of state 0. You might use something like this in a vending machine where you say, okay, well, it's got 0 money in it now, and they just added a quarter. So we're going to output, okay, you have 25 cents in the machine, and we save in the 25 cents state. And now when you come back in, they might put in another quarter, and it says, oh, okay, well, you have 50 cents, and it saves 50 cents in the state. But suppose they put in a dime, and then it says, okay, you have 10 cents, and then it saves the 10 cents state, and then they add a quarter, and now it takes you up to 35 cents output, and it saves that in here. And so this is able to keep track of how much money is in there because we associated how much money with the current state. And then depending on how much money is in the machine, its current state, and how much money gets put in additionally, which are the inputs, then of course the outputs and the next state are going to change. Alright, that is a state machine in a nutshell. So let's go ahead and code one. And what I'm going to do, because we're going to need some logic expressions to convert our inputs and current state to the outputs in the next state, I want to spend some time talking about it so you know how to do exactly that, building a truth table and logic expressions from a state diagram. So we'll build those expressions in the next video.